The Premier League should be scared. Arsenal's attack isn't just back, it's reborn. Gyökeres, Eze, Saka, Ødegaard, Martinelli. And this time, they're coming to destroy everything in their path. But how good is this Arsenal attack? And can they win the league next season? Well, let's talk about that. Arsenal's attack last season wasn't good enough when it mattered most. That's just the truth. They had moments of brilliance, sure. Saka was dazzling, Ødegaard was pulling strings, Martinelli had his bursts. But as a collective unit, especially in the final stretch of the season, they just couldn't sustain the momentum. You could see it in the games that defined their title challenge, matches where they needed one goal to turn a draw into a win, or to equalize and push on. They simply couldn't find the cutting edge, and in those moments, you need your attack to show up. You need variety, depth, precision. Arsenal didn't have any of those. At times, the front line looked flat, too predictable. Teams figured out how to shut them down, mark Saka tightly, cut off Ødegaard's passing lanes, isolate Martinelli, and Arsenal's threat level dropped significantly. When the system struggled, there wasn't an individual in that attack who could consistently drag the team over the line. And that's a big problem if you want to win the league. By the end of the season, it became clear that the attack couldn't carry the pressure of a full title race. City, for instance, had goals from everywhere. Haaland, Foden, De Bruyne, even their fullbacks chipped in. Arsenal, by contrast, had one functioning route to goal, and when the pathway was blocked, they looked short of ideas. The worst part? The goals dried up just when the stakes were highest. That's why they dropped points in winnable games. It wasn't the defense, it was the best in the league for long spells. It was the attack that lacked killer instinct. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about tactics or individual performances. Two major factors killed Arsenal's attacking flow last season: injuries and the lack of a clinical striker. And both of these issues, they've been addressed. Injuries.
Teta, Premier League's back. Who have you got available health fitness-wise? Are you looking who's in, who's out?
Huge blow with Gabriel Jesus and what happened in the World Cup with his injury. And we're going to miss him for a period of time. But the season has challenges. That's a challenge that we have to overcome as well.
That was the first big problem that crushed Arsenal's momentum last season. People often overlook it, but the truth is, Arsenal's attack was never truly settled. Every time they found rhythm, an injury came and pulled them back to square one. Let's start with Kai Havertz. He was starting to find his feet in that hybrid role, sometimes false nine, making those late runs into the box, but just when it looked like he was clicking, he picked up injuries that disrupted his flow. Without Havertz, Arsenal lost a player who could stretch defenses vertically. His runs between the lines pulled defenders out, created pockets of space for Ødegaard and Saka, and added unpredictability to their play. When he was out, that vertical threat disappeared, and Arsenal became easier to contain. Then there's Bukayo Saka. Saka was Arsenal's heartbeat on the right wing. Everything dangerous flowed through him, but in the season, Saka was carrying injuries. Everyone saw it: the heavy legs, the reduced sharpness in his dribbles, the slower bursts of pace. He was overplayed because there was no one else who could replicate what he brought. A half-fit Saka is still better than most, but Arsenal needed the 100% version of him when it mattered most, and they didn't have that. And the biggest blow? Gabriel Jesus. When your lead striker is in and out of the squad due to recurring injuries, your entire attacking structure suffers. Jesus isn't just a finisher. He presses, creates space, links up play, and sets the tempo in the final third. When he's missing, Arsenal don't just lose a striker, they lose their first line of press and a key creator in the box. That's massive. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, back to the video. So, with Havertz, Saka, and Jesus all missing games or playing at 70%, Arsenal's attack was constantly weakened. Arteta had to rotate players, adjust systems, and sometimes even play people out of position just to compensate. That's not a sustainable formula if you're chasing the best team in the world in Manchester City. But injuries, they were just one side of the problem. The other, and probably the most glaring, was the lack of a clinical striker who could bury chances when it mattered most. And that's where the second issue came in. The second problem was clear. Arsenal didn't have a striker who could finish consistently. It's that simple. They created chances, but there was no one up front to kill games off. Kai Havertz tried, he worked hard, made smart runs, and even chipped in with goals here and there. But when it counted, in the big games, tight matches, Havertz wasn't the ruthless finisher Arsenal needed. He missed key chances, not because he's not good, but because that's not his instinct. He's not the predator in the box that every title-winning team needs. Arteta, he saw that, and he knew relying on Havertz or an injury-prone Gabriel Jesus or even Trossard in false nine roles wasn't enough. Arsenal needed a shift, a serious one, and it all started with the wings. The first step, reinforcing the right side. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks. Arteta started the rebuild from the right wing, the most important channel in Arsenal's attack, and naturally, that's where Bukayo Saka lives. We know what Saka brings: creativity, goals, dribbling, intelligence. He's the player that defenders prepare for days in advance, because if you don't plan for Saka, he'll rip you apart. But last season, Saka was overworked. He carried the weight of being Arsenal's main attacking outlet, and he did it while battling through injuries. This season, though, things are different. Saka is back, fresh, fit, and fully committed. That's already a massive boost. But Arteta didn't stop there. He made a statement signing, Noni Madueke, £52 million for a right winger when you already have Saka might sound strange, but this was strategic. Madueke is explosive, direct, and loves to take on defenders. He offers the exact qualities Arsenal lacked when Saka wasn't fully fit. Think about it. When games get tight, when Saka is tired or marked out, Arteta now has a ready-made weapon off the bench. Madueke brings speed, unpredictability, and goal threat. He can strike tired defenses, force errors, and create space for others. That's not just depth, that's tactical flexibility. And beyond that, signing Madueke solves one of Arsenal's biggest problems: over-reliance on Saka. Now Arteta can rotate, protect Saka, and still keep that right side dangerous. But strengthening the wing was just the start. The next piece of the puzzle is the creative hub, the number 10 role, and Arsenal might have a surprise waiting there too. That spot, it belongs to Martin Ødegaard, and let's be honest, he's been one of the most consistent performers in the squad. His ability to dictate play, break lines with his passing, and find pockets of space is world-class. He presses relentlessly, contributes with goals, and links midfield to attack better than most in the league. But even with all that, Arsenal might have something special brewing behind him: Ethan Nwaneri. This kid isn't just hype. His technical ability, vision, and comfort in tight spaces are exactly what you want in a number 10. Nwaneri has this composure on the ball that's rare for someone his age. He can receive under pressure, wriggle free, and either drive forward or pick out a killer pass. And here's a twist that might catch people off guard. Don't be surprised if we say Saka play as a number 10 occasionally. With Madueke now covering the right wing, it frees Saka to drift central in certain games. His close control, quick feet, and ability to combine in tight spaces could make him lethal through the middle. It's an option Arteta can explore to break teams that sit deep. That's the creative side sorted: options, depth, and versatility. Now onto the left wing, and this is where things get interesting. Arsenal already has Gabriel Martinelli on that side. On his day, Martinelli is electric, fast, aggressive, and always willing to take on defenders. But the problem is consistency. Throughout a season, especially when the pressure ramps up, Martinelli hasn't always delivered at the level you need from a starting winger in a title-chasing team. That's why, when you look at the big picture, Martinelli might be better used as an impact sub, someone who can come off the bench with energy, stretch tired legs, and exploit space. Arsenal need more than that for a full season. They need someone who can own that left flank from start to finish. That's where Eberechi Eze comes in. Arsenal are in advanced talks to bring him from Crystal Palace, and this could be a massive upgrade. Eze is an exceptional ball carrier. His dribbling is smooth, he glides past players, and he's got that rare ability to control the tempo while still being a direct threat. Last season, Eze produced over 25 goal contributions, goals and assists, playing for a mid-table Palace side. That's not easy, especially in a team that doesn't dominate possession like Arsenal does. Imagine what he could do in a system where he sees more of the ball, gets better service, and has higher quality players around him. Eze isn't just a winger, he can cut inside, operate between the lines, and even play in more central positions if needed. That versatility, it's exactly what Arteta wants to add on the left side, a player who can score, create, and retain the ball under pressure. With Eze on the left, Ødegaard in the middle, and Saka or Madueke on the right, Arsenal suddenly have a balanced, dangerous trio behind the striker. But that leads us to the main piece of the puzzle, the number 9, the position Arsenal have failed to solve for years, until now. This is where Arsenal have fallen short for years. They've tried different solutions, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and sometimes even Merino in a false 9 role, but none of them with a complete answer. Arsenal didn't just need a striker, they needed a finisher, a presence, someone who lives for goals. And this summer, Arteta has finally addressed it with the signing of Victor Gyökeres. This is a proper number 9. With over 65 goals in just over 60 games for Sporting and a total of over 220 goals in around 390 career appearances, Gyökeres is prolific. He's not just about the numbers, his game is built on physicality, intelligent movement, and clinical finishing. He's the type of striker that defenders hate playing against because he can score from anywhere, inside the box, on the break, or even from tight angles. For the first time in Arteta's tenure, Arsenal now have a striker who can truly lead the line. Gyökeres gives them reliable goal threat, someone who doesn't need 5 chances to score 1. And if he needs a rest, or if the game requires something different, you still have Gabriel Jesus, who, when fit, brings pressing, link-up play, and creativity. Plus, Havertz remains an option if Arteta ever wants to revert to a false 9 setup in certain matches. What Arteta has built isn't just a striker solution, it's a flexible system. Gyökeres to finish, Jesus to create chaos, Havertz to adapt. That's a complete attacking structure. And when you look at all these pieces together, from the wings to the number 10 to the striker, it's clear that Arsenal's attack isn't just stronger, it's ready to win. When you put all of it together, it's clear Arteta has not just built an attack, he's built an attacking system designed to win. Every piece of the front line now has depth, variety, and purpose. But do you think they can win the league now with this attack? Well, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and also check out our last video on the Arsenal 2026 squad. Thank you.